Orientalism is basically basically um 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 I don't know if I'm making sense. Defined by Edward Said, who wrote a book, a 1970s book called Orientalism. It refers to the Western imitation or depiction of certain characteristics and aspects of Middle Eastern cultures and Asian cultures. The book by Edward Said, Orientalism, brought widespread awareness to the term, which he recognizes as the West's prejudiced interpretation of the East. Also explains how Orientalism developed shortly after European powers had come into contact with the lesser developed people of the East. The Europeans recognized their cultures as bizarre and exotic, resulting in their ethnocentric attitudes. The first time I've heard Orientalism is in our popular culture course when we were talking about MIA's music video. I kind of chose this concept, first of all, because it's a cool word, Orientalism. But I didn't really understand what differentiated it from racism. I think it's sort of just a specific type of racism. So to me, this concept basically represents the Western culture's prejudice and kind of lesser representation of Middle Eastern and Asian cultures. I got my information from stupid YouTube videos, a vlog. The one that helped me out was this one. Should appear. And there's quite a lot of conflicting ideas about Orientalism. I also think that cultural appropriation can kind of come under Orientalism, because the pop culture examples that I've found were things like Katy Perry at the VMAs dressing as a geisha. There's quite a lot of Japanese, Chinese sort of cultural appropriation that is considered as Orientalism, because it's Westerners misrepresenting traditional things that are highly valued and respected in other cultures. A good example that I found of this was the movie Aladdin, which is something that I chose this because it's my favorite animated movie, and it's also pretty relevant at the moment because it's being made into a musical. Aladdin's heavily criticized for its misrepresentation of Arab culture, specifically because some arguments that I read into was that it depicts the whole society as foreign, and the first song, Arabian Nights, had its lyrics heavily scrutinized because it talks about it being a faraway place, it's barbaric but hey, it's home, and the lines kind of depict it as completely different to what is familiar to Western society, and you know, it's barren, the heat is intense. I also thought that in Aladdin, what was interesting was that I've never noticed Aladdin's actual voice is voiced with an American accent.
This girl.
And all of the other antagonists, like the guards in the street, her father, Jafar, all of them have an Arabian accent. And they're portrayed as the villains and the antagonists, whereas the protagonists are seen positively in Western cultures as, you know, they've got the same accents as us, and then it's negatively portraying Arabs and associating them in the villain sort of way. So it kind of subtly does this, but I've never noticed it because to me, being in a Western culture, it was just, you know, a Disney movie, but I think it has, you know, a bit of a darker side to it, and I can now understand and see why people would scrutinize Aladdin. Much has developed or changed in terms of Orientalism. There is still like a lot of cultural appropriation and things going on, and it's something that we don't really realize how much we're doing.